In the month of December, we brought in $45,000 in cash. This question is all about what are the 10 things you need in order to have a high sales month? And that's what I'm going to answer today. All right, so I feel very, very qualified to answer this question. First of all, a high sales month is different for each person. And actually, this question that was asked, the question was a 4-figure sales month. So obviously the sales month that I just mentioned was a multiple 5-figure sales month. And it was actually not just a multiple 5-figure sales month, but a multiple 5-figure cash month. So, it's a high is going to be relative. It's going to be different for everyone. So as you're watching this, I want you to think about what is that number for you? What is your high sales month number? And then you can apply this to that. And the question was like top 10 tips. I don't know if I'm going to have 10 tips, but I will at least provide you with one good one and one juicy one. So the first thing that I would suggest in order to have a high sales month is to create a high ticket offer. I mean, I think that's relatively straightforward. If you would like to have a high sales month, it's a lot easier to get there with a high ticket offer, especially if you don't have a large enough audience to generate high sales from lower ticket products. But I will say this, one of the other highest months that I had in 2020 was a $27,000 month. And that month I did not sell any high ticket offers. That was all from courses and people who were purchasing directly from the website, $2,000 courses, $1,500 courses, $25 courses, $47 courses, $197. Like there were all different price points and none of them were like large pops of, $5,000 for a coaching program or $10,000 for a coaching program or anything like that. So that's going back one. So instead of the first thing really being to create a high ticket package, the first thing that I would suggest is to first do what aligns with what you want to create and who you are. I never wanted to only create a business that was sustained by high ticket sales. Like I never wanted to have to be on the phone. I never wanted to have to create anything in particular or never wanted to create a job for myself. I really wanted to create a business that has freedom and flow and where I'm teaching. Like that's where I really feel like my zone of genius is in actually teaching and not just, I don't want to say just, but not, coaching. And I really wanted to take my knowledge, distill it down into a course or a program and really just offer that out. So I essentially built the majority of my business around that. So in 2020, around 60 or 70% of the revenue came from courses and not from coaching. And we did $250,000 in 2020. So I'm very happy to be able to say that. I'm very proud of myself. But at the same time, it was like, I didn't just create a high ticket offer. Like I really dug into my zone of genius and where I shine. And I feel like a lot of people miss that. Like you don't realize that you have everything that you need to reach that high figure sales month, whatever that number is for you. Like you have everything that you need from an energetic standpoint. Obviously there might be some knowledge that you just don't know yet, which is why you hire a coach, take a course, the best version of themselves. And that is the main problem. The main issue is that most people are too afraid to be themselves. They're too afraid to bring forth everything that they have to give. They're too afraid to be silly or funny or serious or sarcastic or whatever it is, that's you. So whatever you like to bring to the table, many people are just scared to bring that out. And the thing is that once you determine your zone of genius and your area that you're just really good at, you will bring that forward in your coaching. It'll shine through in your marketing and it'll make it that much easier for you to attract clients and also attract the people who are right for you. So another tip that I have for you to actually have a high sales month is to release, let go, release, delegate, outsource, delegate, outsource. So the month that we did $27,000, I did have an assistant. The month that we did $45,000, I had a salesperson, an assistant, a copywriter, and I'm actually in the process of bringing on a client services rep. So I will say this, like whatever your goal is, you are not going to get there alone. You're not going to get there by just trying to like, pull that sled up the hill by yourself in, torrential downpour and, there's no wheels on it or whatever. Like you have to have help. Okay. So, and I'm not saying that you need to hire 3, 4, 5 people, but I would recommend that you at least have an assistant. And the reason that I say this is because you have a zone of genius and you also have a lot of things that you're probably doing right now that you shouldn't be doing. There's probably things that you are spending your time doing that is taking you away from what you could be doing, what is actually going to grow your business. So for me, what I realized that I shouldn't be doing that month that we did 27,000 was that like I kept uploading my own content into the course area. After I recorded content, I would, put it up into the course area. I would like make it all nice and perfect and ready to go. And I was like, you know what? Like I shouldn't, like this is not what I should be spending my time on. I should have someone who can work their way around Thinkific or at least learn enough so they can, work their way around it and they can upload all this stuff. Like once I create it, once I record it, once I put it out there, they can just grab it and put it in Thinkific. And Thinkific makes it very, very easy because you can actually choose a file from Google Drive and it'll transfer right into Thinkific. So all I had to do was record, put it on Google Drive, and then they would be able to sync it over. And so once I realized that, I actually took that entire month off. I took the entire month of July off from a, quote unquote business standpoint. I pre-scheduled a lot of content. I, gave a lot of stuff to my assistant and I was preparing for my bikini competition. So I needed to really be focused. I was hungry. I was hangry. I was depleted. I was everything but dehydrated. I had plenty of water. So I needed that time off anyway. And that taking that time off allowed me to see and allowed me to realize that there's a lot that can run without me. And then in October, I decided to work with a new mentor. And when I started working with him, I said, one of the things that I really want to change this year is that I'm essentially a one-woman show. Like there's me, I have a video editor that helps me out and that's pretty much it right now because I had let go of my previous assistant because I just felt like I just didn't have a good direction on where we were going and why I needed her help. And I was like, a lot of this stuff I'm just going to do myself. So I kind of went back. I feel like I went backwards just a little bit. But also at the same time, I was like, I really need someone who can be not like a partner, but someone who can wear many hats. So I really needed someone who is more than just an assistant. And so I was like, the right person is going to come along. I'm not going to stress myself out. Until then, I'm just going to kind of do it all myself. And so when I went and spoke with that mentor in October, I was like, I'm really a one-woman show and I really would like to create a team, build a team around myself. I want to be able to just show up and coach. I want to be able to record my videos. Someone else edits them. Someone puts them online. Someone tells me what content to create, which honestly has been you guys lately because I've gotten some really great questions. And I want to just show up and I want to be the star. I want to be Beyonce, right? So I was like, this is what I want to do. And I was like, can you help me? And he said, yeah, absolutely. We can help you. So I made my investment. And in October, I was actually introduced to someone who is a copywriter and she's able to do like WordPress and like all this other things that an assistant would do. And so she like lifted a whole lot off of my plate. Then directly after that, I kept getting a nudge to ask a friend of mine who had been in sales if she would be interested in helping me out with some sales calls. So I finally like took action in the direction of that nudge. And I was like, is this, would you be willing to do it? And she said, yeah. The sales process that my mentor that I had just hired in October, the sales process that he helped me put together, I was able to just hand off to her. She made like 2 or 3 sales already. Like after the first, she didn't even start in November because I had to give her, it was like Thanksgiving was coming up and I was like, okay, I'll show you like after Thanksgiving is done, I'll show you what we're doing and then you'll be able to jump on to some calls. She was like, okay, great. So she didn't even start in November. She started in December and right away she started producing sales. And so doing that process, so now I've got my video editor, my copywriter / assistant, as well as a salesperson, like that really helped me to get into my zone of genius. So that is the next suggestion is like release. outsource, delegate. Like, you can't do it on your own, and you shouldn't do it on your own. You should be operating in your zone of genius. And if what you're doing right now is not your zone of genius, then you gotta just let it go. And what I find is, for a lot of coaches, marketing is not their zone of genius, which is unfortunate, because there are a lot of great coaches who don't know how to market themselves properly. And that's exactly what I do for my clients. So essentially what we do inside of our coaching services and what we offer here at You've Got Clients is that we take on that marketing for you. Like, we're essentially your marketing partner. And, you know, you are going to have to put a lot of stuff in place. Like, because it's your zone of genius, you know what people are interested in, you know the message that you have to share, but you just don't know how to put it together from a marketing standpoint. So we work together to put those marketing pieces in place. And then after that, we will take on a lot of the back end for you. So like, we'll continue running your ads for you if that's something that you like. And a lot of clients who come and talk to us about the Path to Six Figures coaching program, that's like one of the main things that they're excited about when we say, hey, we're going to run your ads for you and we're going to guarantee results. They're like, wait, what? And so, you know, if marketing is not something that you're great at, definitely outsource, delegate, and put that in place for yourself. I think that's really all the tips that I have for how to create a high sales month. Is get the mindset right of what you actually want to create. I mean, that's always the first step in manifestation, is like, choose what you want to create. So if you want to create 4 figures, 5 figures, 6 figures, which is one of my goals for, you know, actually next month or this month, whatever, like, I'm not waiting for, you know, months and months and months to put that in place. But if that's your goal, like, choose what you want to create first. Then from there, once you've chosen what you want to create, then you can take some practical action steps of creating a high ticket offer, but also deciding like what's in alignment for you to actually create. Like, is it coaching packages that you want to create? Is it courses that you want to create? And then from there, be willing to delegate. So don't try to do it all on your own. And that's what I would suggest that you do. I guess there's one more thing that I would suggest, which is don't be afraid to have conversations. What I find is when I speak with coaches and I ask them, like, what are you doing for marketing? When they're like, hey, I need clients, I'm like, okay, what are you doing for marketing? The response is always like, I'm posting on Instagram. And like, that's not really having a conversation with anybody. That's you standing up in a crowded room and like waving a flyer. Like, if you went to a business owner and you asked them like, what are you doing for marketing? And they said, I'm going down to the sidewalk and I'm waving a flyer, not even passing it out, but I'm like waving a flyer. Like, they would look at you like you were crazy. Okay. So, you know, don't be afraid to have conversations. As a coach, one of the best ways that you can generate clients is by creating clients, and you create clients with conversations that you have. So conversations could be phone, text message. It could be, you know, it's just a conversation in person, you know, whatever it is. And those conversations are, you know, you figuring out if you can actually help them and if they're open to getting help and if they're open to coaching. So I do have a couple of videos on like how to have sales conversations and things like that. So definitely go and check out that playlist. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any other questions on like, what would you ask a six-figure CEO that would help you on your journey to becoming one, be sure to comment it below. And that is all I have for today. So in the meantime, I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye.